What's up, weirdo? Shadetree Surgeons here, hopefully back with my last day on David's Kawasaki Concourse 1400. Oh, although I will tell ya, it does go 0 to ramming speed pretty damn quick. I'm heading up to Brapstar Garage right now because David is just one of the best dudes out. David from Forgotten Angels. Not just for everything he does for kids of age out of foster care, but he's trailering my FXR back up to the shop. Instead of me going out there and having to pick it up and pick up all the camping gear we left out there and the Road King Kong that we left out there, we just left half our life lying on his property. It just says, hey man, when can you meet up at the shop? I got a big trailer. I'll bring it all down for you. And normally I don't like to lean on people too hard or ask them for too much, but he offered, and I really wasn't looking forward to going out there to pick all that stuff up. So I went ahead and said yes.
All right, David just got here doing me a huge solid, bringing back the Road King with no tag because he'll ride dirty too, he doesn't care. And bringing back the now non-running, or at least non-starting, I could probably push start it, FXR.
Crusty Glide back under the knife.
The return of the Raspberry Buffet. Why does a man need 2 Goldwings? Well, in case all his other motorcycles break down. And the Raspberry Buffet is getting pretty close too. Once again, the batteries. We left the accessory on, and that battery's flat as a pancake. All right, now let's just try not to stall it. Oh no, give me a freaking break. Dude, it's like it heard me. I was like, let's try not to stall it. Immediately stalls. Okay, let's try this again. I think we're good now. Maybe, at least to get home. Woo! The Raspberry Buffet rides again, baby. Why does a man need 2 Goldwings? I don't know. The same reason a man needs multiple bikes from the 80s, because they're never going to stay running. Headed back to my place right now with David and Jared Weems to finalize all the stuff on the other maroon motorcycle in the Brapstar fleet, the Road King Kong, although it won't be part of the fleet for much longer because Bert's Barracuda Harley Davidson stepped up to the plate because they're such great people and said, you know what, you talked to us about Forgotten Angels, you told us what they do helping kids who've aged out of the foster care system. You know what, you can raffle off Road King Kong. They donated Road King Kong to the cause, and now it's the same deal, $25 raffle ticket. It's the same as Jared Weems' 52 Triumph. Every time I get on a bike that I've done long distances on, like getting back on the Raspberry Buffet, or anytime I ride my chopper, I'm just riding it down the road going like, I did how many miles on this thing? I rode 1,300 miles straight on this bike. I'm like sitting on it because my new Goldwing, the GL 1500, is so much more comfortable. I'm like, I can't believe I did that.
Back at the house, got the raffle all set up with David and Weems, and Shay Lacey just got home with all of this. So apparently me telling her that she was unloved and no one would ever send her anything, that's not true now. So I guess we're filming an unboxing video when I get back home on Shay Lacey's channel.
I'll tell you, I still can't get over just how easy it is to remove the batteries on Goldwings. All you need is a screwdriver, which may not be a big deal when it comes to removing a car battery. Usually all you need is a screwdriver. On a motorcycle, needing 1 tool to change a battery is actually a little more rare than you might think. A bunch of bikes that don't run, bad battery, clutch is no clutch in this one. I'm gonna try and grab some stuff to fix that right now. Luckily, I've got this brand new lowrider from Bert's Harley Davidson to ride around. Thanks, guys. Gonna go deliver some more sticker packages for y'all. Hopefully those stay. I don't think those are going anywhere. They're probably in better hands here than they are with the post office, to be totally honest with you. I like this lowrider, man. I don't know what it is. Like, I've ridden a bunch of them, but this red and chrome speaks to me somehow. I'm a chrome guy. Unabashedly love me some shiny parts. And even though chrome is a lot harder to keep clean, in my eyes, a clean bike with chrome accents, there just is almost nothing better. Black motorcycles just never look as clean as they should. Man, this bright fire engine red, all this chrome on top of it, this looks straight out of the 1950s. I love it. Even though I had a 107 for a while. I had that Heritage for a while. This just seems faster. I don't know. It's the red and chrome, baby. You can't make something red and chrome and not feel fast. Only put like 30 miles on this bike and I'm already like, I don't want to give it back. Which I feel about every bike I borrow from Harley Davidson. I just get on the things and go, I don't want to give it back. All right, guys, you're in the hands of the United States Postal Service now. Good luck. Let's see if the brake fluid fits in this front pouch. So other than that, cool, it does. We don't have any storage. Now it's back to the homestead to deal with Shaylee's giant pile of love. Apparently some people felt bad that she wasn't getting packages and overcompensated a little bit. I'm trying to come back from having so many bikes down right now. Hopefully that Goldwing battery takes a charge. It's only a year old, so it should. I think that Ram mount heard us talking crap and heard them telling us to suck our dicks, because I'm pretty sure it's that Ram mount, that reservoir mount that we use on there. If I'm going to blame a culprit, that's the only thing that's changed on the bike, and everything was working fine up till then. So, you're on notice, Ram mount. Nice. I've been looking for an RV, and this one kind of speaks to me. Mobile home, anybody? All right, day 2 of trying to make at least one of my motorcycles run. When I say run, I mean at least start. Or at least start with that assistance, I mean. Got Shaylee's Pacific Coast all fixed up yesterday, or at least I think it's all fixed up. Let's get up to the shop and see if we can make something happen with one of my bikes. Man, getting going in the early morning makes me want to do a trip. I'm just riding to the shop, just like in the dusk, the sun hasn't completely come up yet, and you know it's early morning, nice and chilly. Makes me want to be on the road. Of course, you got to have a motorcycle that reliably starts and run to hit the road. At least like 75% of the time, anyway. A 25% error rate I can usually deal with. So heading up to the shop now to see if I can diagnose the mail order glide, the Bangkok bagger, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this battery on my better charger. I brought my crappier charger home, which is one of those auto ones, which I never really trust to charge it right. Of course, I also don't trust my big charger. I don't like leaving the battery on it overnight, so oh, maybe that'll make it take a charge. We'll see. After riding here and putting it on the charge yesterday, we're only showing 9 volts. Well, let's hook this thing up. Okay, next up, the mail order glide. The Bangkok bagger is not getting fuel, so let's go ahead and pull that seat off and see if we can diag it. Luckily, once again, the fuel pump is super easy to access. First thing I'm going to do is try and do a flow test on it and see if it's pumping any fuel. Well, there definitely wasn't any fuel in there. I just want the fuel filter on the end so I can test it with the fuel filter on here and with it off there. Make sure my fuel filter isn't the culprit. All right, let's see if this sucker pumps anything. That's going to be a negatory, buddy. Just for shits and giggles, let's see if it pumps anything with the fuel filter off of it. Also a negatory. All right, so we have ascertained that the fuel pump has ceased to pump. You had one job. Okay, since the fuel pump is not pumping, next up is to check either the relay or the tip over sensor, which are beneath the right saddlebag from what I've read online. So let's try to pull the saddlebag off. I can see, much like my FXR, it only seems to be 4 bolts holding it in, but I might be surprised. It's already weird. This one had a bolt going through the top. This one has a bolt coming up through the bottom. Right on. Have to come off. Okay, since this thing has a bunch of ridiculous chrome accessories, I'm gonna have to pull some more stuff off to get the saddlebag off. No! I just broke both of them. God damn it. Well, I got this thing half tore apart, but still no luck on diagnosing the fuel pump, unfortunately. I was trying to jump over the relay, and I must have been doing it wrong because I ended up blowing a fuse, of which I do not have any replacements for. But I did get that to take a charge, and it's starting under its own power now, so I'll take the half a win, I guess, and after I got some more fuses, tackle this again later. Well, it seems like top spot for most reliable bike in perhaps our fleet is in a constant state of flux. Now, I don't know if that's because bikes are constantly competing for it or if they're constantly competing to be in last place. Either way, now I think Raspberry Buffet takes the top spot for most reliable motorcycle in Brapstar Garage. After all, Raspberry Buffet did do 3,200 miles in 4 days. And it only broke down 3 times. Not bad. Only broke down 3 times in 3,200 miles over 4 days? That is way ahead of the curve for most of my motorcycles. Will the Raspberry Buffet start once again? Fingers crossed. All right, Raspberry Buffet, I should have never doubted you. Heading back up to Brapstar Garage for the second time today because I'm meeting Shelby up there. You know, I might not have been able to get my projects finished. The Bangkok bagger still isn't running, but you know, at least Raspberry Buffet is. But we still have multiple other unfinished projects there, not the least of which is Shay Lisi's Green Goblin. Now again, the FXR. I mean, it's back and forth a project all the time up there, but the one I'm going up there to meet Shelby with and work on and hopefully get done today is finishing up David from Forgotten Angel's bike. If you guys remember in a previous video, we took on David's bike and had a bunch of problems with it, and we're just fixing the whole thing for free. Now, let me remind you, we don't work on bikes at Brapstar Garage. That's not what happens there. Brapstar Garage is hopefully the start of something bigger in the future, but as for right now, all I do is film there and film my own projects. We only took on David's bike because, man, let me tell you, with the amount of good that David does, with the amount of amazing things that he does in this world and what he does for all the teens that aged out of foster care, he deserves something nice to happen to him. So he thought he was going to pay for it, and we were like, nah. By the way, I talked to the Patreons. All the patrons, you guys are the ones who bought the parts. Me and Shelby are doing the labor, which means I'm watching Shelby do the labor while I film it. So you guys can feel good about this. You know, my Patreon doesn't have any special rewards, doesn't have no free motorcycles, no free swag, no special benefits, but you do get to feel good about stuff like this, because every single one of you guys who contributes to my Patreon, you're the reason that we were able to help a person like David out, a person who's actually a freaking angel on this earth, man. And I don't believe in God or nothing like that, but if there was one, let me tell you, David would be one of his favorites. What's up, bud? Good to see you, man.
So we're still missing some parts for David's bike, but although I cannot convince Shelby to actually take a Goldwing apart, and I don't blame him, he's worked hard enough, he's earned the right to say he's not going to take a Goldwing apart, I have asked him to help me test the fuel pump because I was blowing fuses trying to figure out if it worked or not. Checking where the fire extinguisher is. It is on the wall. We do have one.
Hit the start button. Hit it again. Okay, it says we're getting power from the relay, it just takes a few seconds for it to kick.
So the fact that we just got that we're getting powered with fuel pump
tells me it's probably the pump, but what we're going to do is apply direct power to the pump and see if it does.
So you can apply direct power right from the battery with this. Yes. Oh, dude, that is slick.
And you can go, you can apply negative power.
Whoa, so you can take it away.
Test ground.
Where does he get those wonderful toys? I'll only ever ask you to do this. I'll never ask you to take a single piece of plastic off.
The tip of it already apply power. Nothing.
Right.
But just for shits and giggles, let's reverse it.
Yep.
Snap the fuse. So that is negative. Green on Hondas is usually negative.
So snap the fuse inside the box.
Nope, it's fuel pump.
Fuel pump?
Fuel pump.
Fuel pump. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. When you're stupid, you have to work twice as hard, as evidenced by Shelby coming in here and in about 10 minutes diagnosing the fuel pump, and me spending over an hour and a half pulling off that side cover so I could try to test the relay. All I did was blow a fuse when I connected it wrong, and yeah, now I got to put it all back together, and it was a fuel pump anyways. Life is hard. It's harder when you're stupid. It's also more expensive when you're stupid because I already ordered a relay.
Good to have a backup.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you, Shelby.
Yeah.
And even though I already ordered a bank angle sensor and a fuel pump relay, they were pretty cheap, and at least I got them as backup now. That'll just teach you, you know what? You shouldn't throw parts at something. You should learn how to properly diagnose stuff. And I'm in the process of learning that. I'm in the process of learning these things, which is why I have Shelby, and which is also why I don't work on anybody else's bike, with the exception of David's bike, which Shelby is actually doing, but Shelby works at a different place. He's just doing this as a favor, and sometimes he helps out me. Anyway, you get the picture. Heading home now, rather defeated, but hey, I got everything coming in the mail. It's just a lot of a sense of anticipation right now. There's electricity in the air. There's so many possibilities. Yes, almost everything is dead, but things are happening. They're on the way. We're ruminating on the idea of Barf Party running again, the mail order glide running again, the Green Goblin running finally. And of course, if David's watching, I'm sure he's like, yes, and please my bike running too. Well, guys, that's going to about do it for this episode chock full of, once again, nothing but failure. But I think that's why you guys tune in, because nobody tunes in to see me win. They're just like, man, I want to feel good about myself. I want to watch this fat dumbass just fail all day long at everything he tries. I don't know, does it ever get frustrating to just watch me suck all day, or does it just make you feel better about your life? Either way, I'm glad you're having fun, because even though this is chock full of failures, I'm still laughing and I'm still having a good time. Till next time, y'all. Keep it weird.
All right, psych. Just kidding. We are actually going to finish David's bike today. I mean, or well, as I usually say, we, the royal we. Shelby's going to finish David's bike today, and I'm going to film it and be his gopher, basically.
Bad people doing good things, episode 36. Fixing the nicest guy in the world's motorcycle.
I'll do the only thing I'm good at while you fix the actual bike.
One little inconspicuous piece.
This is all I'm good for.
One inconspicuous piece.
See?
He doesn't have to polish later.
It's shake and bake, and I helped. Ooh, he's gonna have the shiniest turn signal bar. It's a motorcycle. What do you need turn signals for? If you want turn signals, freaking get a car.
Coming from the guy with a Goldwing. I need it.
I know, yeah, exactly. I've got a Goldwing that doesn't just have a turn signal, it has all the turn signals.
I'm a little hot. Let me open my air conditioning vent.
Yeah, such is the duality of man, okay?
Yeah.
Wow, look how shiny, David. You're welcome. Look, I did something.
Fresh new rubber for David, and trust me, that rear tire was roached. He needed it. What's the torque spec on that? I'm sure you know it by heart.
100 pounds.
What was it?
100. Technically, 95 to 105.
Swear to gosh, I have never been working on an Evo or its twin cam and not asked Shelby what the torque spec was and had him not know it. He's always known it right off the top of his head. So now comes the starter clutch, which requires the removal of the primary because he's got to take the jack shaft off, and the removal of the floorboard because that's in the way. Ooh, that's mud.
Oh, good.
I didn't expect all that to come out of there.
Once again, ever faithful hot dog can.
Still smells like hot dogs. Everyone made fun of me, but here we are using it again. What is millimeters doing on that?
It's a starter.
Oh, because it's a Hitachi starter, right?
Yep.
Hitachi. They make starters for Harley Davidsons and starters for your old lady.
Now, normally you would want to disconnect the battery by this point because you don't really want to do any welding inadvertently on your bike. But I have seen this done once or twice on YouTube.
Shelby, you made that look easy, dude.
Drop this, make sure you put it back where it's supposed to go. Start a couple of that couples the starter to the jack shaft, falls out when you pull the starter out.
I am sure people have put that whole thing back together without replacing that before.
It won't start. But here's the deal. If you look inside here, there's a snap ring. It's actually offset to one side. So if you put it on that way, it's not fully engaged on all the splines on the starter. You'll end up tearing up teeth on your jack shaft, and it won't operate right. What'll happen is the jack shaft will shoot out too far.
Yep.
And get hung up.
Yikes.
Yeah. You take
one of those, ask me how I know.
Not because I've done it, but I've seen somebody do it. Hey, look at that, I got a free bit. Thanks, David. Surprised I'm not finding any battery bolts.
Wow, that looks like it's got a lot of tiny little parts in it that you got to keep track of.
This gear should not be spinning like that.
It's like they were supposed to go together.
Yeah. Way to go have somebody ask me a torque spec on this bolt on the meter.
Good and tight, huh?
German spec. It's up to Mercedes-Benz standards. Torque spec for you. 2 Ugga-Dugga. Maybe 3. 20 foot-pounds. Blue latte.
The blue one's cotton candy flavored, I think. Or is it blue raspberry?
Once you taste it, you'll know, though. You'll know exactly what it is the next time it happens.
And red Loctite. Is there a difference in flavor?
Red's actually kind of a little spicier. You can believe it. You ready for this one? This tiny little bolt, 56
That's it.
pounds. 56 inch pounds. No sparks, no sparks, no sparks. Yay! Cam cover off, standing here right in front of the gears turning. Let's just go. That's all I need to hear.
Oh, it works.
I thought I was just the cameraman.
Feeling good in there. 10 volts total, 5 rows long, 5 rows short. Yep, just like belt pinch. Every last drop.
Say thank you, Madam Hexa. This is the definition of bad people doing good things. When a professional dominatrix is helping a Christian charity, helping out teens who have aged out of foster care system, it's a weird circle. I wouldn't even say Shade Tree Army is a circle. It's definitely something offset and strange, but we're making it work. So, okay, this bike is basically fixed. Now we just have to put it back together. Because we have the new exhaust too. Yeah, this bike is
ready to go back together.
This bike is ready to go back together. Wow, that happened. Dude, a bike that got fixed at the Brapstar garage? That never happens.
I'll show you guys something here on camera.
Both of these are Harbor Freight ratchets. One of them is $11, one of them is $40. Now, Shelby, a professional mechanic, owns the $11 one and thinks that the $40 Icon one, this is Icon versus Pittsburgh, both Harbor Freight, this is garbage. Buy the $11 one. So just opening up Shelby's toolbox here, talking about the Pittsburgh ratchets versus Snap-on versus Icon. He's had these for over 10 years and never had to replace them. And if you look at this thing, it gets used. Has its place in there right next to...
Snap-on.
How much did this ratchet cost?
Like 120.
120 bucks. $10.
$10 make you holla.
Thing's gonna be quiet as a mouse again.
What's the torque spec on those? One middle finger.
One middle finger. Here we got 1 3/4 exactly. Here, not so much. Look at the little baby right there.
Oh my gosh, how adorable.
Torque spec on the Harley Grand Plug is 20 foot-pounds.
I heard your elbow click.
Woo. Hell yeah, man.
There we go.
A running, much quieter motorcycle now. And you know what? For an absolutely amazing cause, for an absolutely amazing human being, we're more than happy to do this. Shelby stepped up to the plate. Thank you so much, man. Of course, I don't need to thank you because, like, we're in this together, even though you did all the work. We're in it together. Together we did this, even though you did all the work. I'm just stand here. So, together.
Oh, it's so quiet. It's so quiet, Harley.